Hello guys, another Sunday. Let's look at some indexes here. Great week last week. I got USD here doing what we expected it to do. It once again, we had this pullback to this support resistance here, and then we have another one on Friday, and I'm still expecting it to go up. So this is a pretty good spot to start getting long on USD. If we zoom in, let me remove all this. Let's see. By the way, I think this is the line that this is the line that we drew a couple of weeks ago, and it's following pretty well so far. And now I want to draw some kind of trend line here, like this. So pretty good confluence of things here. Still looking for this area for USD to reach. So I'm gonna copy this, clone it, and I'm gonna apply it to right here. So the timings, yeah, I'm pretty sure we can reach that C level in a timely fashion. I'm also gonna do one of these like this. So this is gonna be our potential resistance line. So if we pull up here, we could back down to this trend line here, right? So this is definitely a area to watch, as we could do something like this, right, and then continue higher to that C level. All right, so still pretty bullish on USD. Let's look at Euro. So Euro broke this trend channel, and it's trying to pull back to it naturally. I'm not sure why I didn't draw it in the first place, but anyway, it's drawn back to it. I'm still expecting it to go lower now that we've broken it. It's pretty natural for it to go back to it like that. So at some point in time, whenever we hit this trend again, is when it should start reversing, and then the longer term moving average here I have is going to start turning red like that, right? Probably not as sharp, but something like that. All right. So Euro, still gonna be I'm still bearish on it, so I'm gonna write down Euro down. Right. Let's look at the next thing. Canada, Canadian dollar. Great looking forecast here. Again, we pulling back up to that dynamic support resistance line, and kind of trying to form that right shoulder that we talked about several weeks ago. I am still bearish on Canada, and I'm also looking for that moving average to start kind of going down like this. Right. So I'm going to write down Canada down. Let's see. British pound. Like I told you last week, I'm still let's get rid of that. I'm still bullish on it, and let's see. We're still looking for that level there, that SRS there, and we're definitely respecting this support here, this little SRS. So I'm still looking for it to go higher. I'm gonna write down Great British Pound up. Let's look at Swiss franc. So Swiss franc is interesting here because, as we talked before, that if it starts trying to break this trend line, let me extend it. We can see a move upwards. So right now we're kind of looking for that to start happening because we've been moving higher, making higher lows, and if we do break it, it should start moving higher, and we're going to put some levels up in here. We have this level here, and we have this would be a good resistance here as well. We have a couple of levels like this, right? And so for Swiss franc, it needs to break out of this trend kind of hard, and then pull back to it like this probably, and we're either going to hit this resistance here or go all the way up here like this, right? So that's kind of my expectation for Swiss franc. Kind of looks weird. Let me correct it. Probably more like this. Yeah. All right. So I don't know. It depends. I'm not sure if I'm bullish on it yet. I want to see that break first and then a pullback. So I'll start getting bullish at the B point, wherever it is. It may not be here. It might be a bit higher. It might be a bit lower. But at that B pullback, I'm going to start getting bullish. But for now, I'm not going to write down Swiss franc at all. I'm just going to watch what happens first. Japanese yen, just getting more trapped. It's trying to move higher. For the get rid of this. Trying to break out of this triangle. It's finding itself in and kind of bouncing off of that trend line here, which is nice. I can see the moving average starting to move kind of higher, so I'm going to turn that green. And again, looking for that breakout. So right now we're just kind of still stuck, and until we break through it, I'm not gonna do too much about Japanese yen. So I'm just gonna wait and see where we go first. So far it's trying to make move higher, but there's no conviction yet, so we're gonna wait on that. Australian dollar. Let's see. Australian dollar, good. So we broke that support. We're trying to move lower to that trend line here, this channel, but we have run into this SRS level from here. So we basically only have two choices here. We can either bounce up from here, or we don't care about this SRS and we move lower to this trend channel and then go up. So we need to kind of watch what happens with it over the next couple of days. If we start to move higher and breaking all kinds of trend lines here like this. I don't know if you can see that light green. Should probably turn it red so you can see it better. I would definitely be very interested in buying it here, and it's still interesting to buy here now, and if there's a Australian pair that looks good, if it's also at some kind of SRS level or other, I might look to buy it, just for it to kind of start going up this way. But as it stands, I think it still wants to come down to this trend line. So, I'm remain kind of cautious. So I'm gonna write down in parentheses AUD up in parentheses. Just kind of look at it. Let's look at New Zealand dollar. Okay, yeah, good. So we broke the neckline here. I was expecting an earlier pullback to this SRS and then down, but we moved a bit lower and then moved higher to that neckline. So this was point A, short, and now we're trying to go lower to this level. So I'm still, I am remaining bearish on New Zealand, so I'm gonna write down NZD down. All right. So now I'm looking at the list, and I'm gonna come up with some pairs. So EU is still down. UCAD is up. GU is down. NU is down. Euro, British pound is down. EA is down. GCAD is up. AUD CAD is up. Then we've got, let's see, GN is up. Let's see, down. Okay, AN, Australia, New Zealand is up, and the last one would be, no, that's it, because we already got, yeah, all right. So now let's look at some of the pairs from last week that we were talking about. So we said that EU was bearish on EU last week. We kind of move up from last week, the 5th, right? I mean, we made a new low and then we started going higher. All right, so that's kind of a scratch. Yeah, because Euro pulled up, as you remember. USD, Swiss franc. We said last week that USD Swiss franc was going up, and that's what we were looking for it to go, just keep going higher. Instead, it made a little pullback and now trying to go higher. We said that NU was going to go down, and it did not reach that SRS level there, but from the 5th, it moved up, and now it's trying to reverse down. I'm still long NU. I'm looking for that SRS to possibly short it. Euro, British pound, we said last week that it would go down. And from the 5th here, it did go down. It pulled back to that trend line here, and then went down, and then bounced up a little bit. Let's see, Euro, JPY. we said last week that it would go down from the 5th here. Yeah, it did go down a lot, and then recovered a little bit off of this support here. All right. British pound, Swiss franc. Last week we said that it would go up. We actually, let's see, the 5th did go up a bit, and then we pulled back, and then we had a surge here on Friday from British pound news. So still, it's kind of flat for the week, really. British pound New Zealand. We said it was going to go up from the 5th here. It did go up, then it hit that SRS, pulled down. That was a good short, actually. Pulled down, now it's pulling back up, and kind of flat for the week. NJ, last one. Last week we said that it was going to go down. I even drew it a little bit here from the 5th. It moved a little, it moved down, but then we had that surge here, and then another move down, so it's kind of down but flat for the week, basically. Now let's look at the pairs for that we talked about today. We're going to start with the EU. Still projecting a lower move. We've got this SRS coming up, right? So basically this this would be a good sell here. We got UCAD going up, which I like because right here we're actually sitting right on this trend line. So this is probably a good buy. I'm actually waiting to buy at this SRS level, but I'm thinking that it might not come. And if we gap down today on a Sunday, I might just buy. Yeah, because I'm thinking it's ready to move up. It would be nice because we would break that trend line. We would break this trend line here, right, and just start going higher, right, like so. That would be just perfect. Yeah. All right. So GU. GU was saying it's going to go down, and I am trying to short it from around here somewhere. I got this. Anyway, yeah, GU. Yeah, I'm looking to short it. Which I'm not sure why I wrote GU down, because I'm bullish on British pound. That's a mistake. Let me scratch that out. I still don't mind shorting it, but for the index analysis, that's wrong, because I am bullish on British pound. So I'm going to have to reevaluate even probably that short. But if I threw some lines in here, you know, we're making these higher lows and approaching this trend line. If we break out, we could go a lot higher. All right, so we got to watch out for that. But yeah. Yeah, I have scratched out GU. I'm not sure why I wrote down. All right, let's look at NU. NU was saying down. Yeah, I'm looking for that SRS here. Would be nice if we can get there sooner than later, and then tank. You know, this move to SRS, I mean, it doesn't make too much sense to me at this point. I think it's more likely that we would just break this trend line and move lower. But it's definitely would be nice to, you know, to sell this SRS, but the way it's acting right now, it looks like it's almost ready to just break it here, which means I need to tighten my stops on my longs because I bought it down here. Let's see. And what do we have? EG down. EG down. So EG down. Yeah, it's getting trapped here, as you can see. We have this going on. I'm not sure. I think it's probably better if I just go like this. You'll see better. And then we have, you know, this thing going on like this. And then we have the trend line like this, right? So, and what are we saying? Down? EG down? Yeah, I can see it moving lower, but under the condition that we don't break out of here. So we have this trend line that we drew here, and we can put another one down that goes like, oh, not that one. Put another one in here that goes like this, connecting these lows like that, and we have this like that. I'm gonna mark that one green because it's going through the price. So you can kind of see how it's forming this little triangle and wants to possibly break out, and the forecast says down, so we just need to pick a spot to short it and then move lower to probably around here somewhere, just like that. Yeah, that makes sense to me. All right. EG, let's look at EA. EA, we're saying down. Let's throw in some lines. It's kind of a naked chart right now. Let's see. So we got this thing going on. Mark it red. It's hugging it pretty well. If we break this trend line, you can definitely see it going down. But so far, we have not broken it. And we have this Libra thing going on. Let me mark that for you. We have this thing going on like this, right? That. And yeah, let's see if we have any resistance on the left. We got plenty of room still to go higher. We have a zone right here. So this could possibly be a magnet at this point. So I can probably see it going higher first before turning lower. And like again, Australian is kind of under question right now. So, if we do one of these things, something like that, then we could probably go down. But at this point, I'm gonna see how we react at A, and then possibly short there. There's a good entry, but so far it looks like it wants to go higher, so I'm not gonna short it yet. Don't want to fight the market. Yeah, GCAT going up. Let's look at that. GCAT wants to go up. Alright, so this was a good short on GCAT SRS. Then let me clean this up. I'm not sure what I got going on. Alright, so we broke that trend line. Alright, so let's throw in some trend lines here. Wow. Okay, pretty good bounce there. Looking for GCAT to go up. So it looks like it wants to test the highs. So a little pullback here to test these highs. And like on lower time frames, there's probably like a 5-minute chart SRS right here, kind of used up. So if we continue this kind of a flag formation like this, then we can break out of it and then go higher, right? So from somewhere here, we'll start going higher. Let's go back to 4-hour. Yeah. So that's GCAD. ACAD, we're saying probably gonna go up. The only thing I see right now here is this support, and kind of sitting right at it actually. So we have this dynamic support, and then we have this static support here, and we're either going to go up from here or we're going to go up from here. If we are going up, we still have this measured move, possible measured move that obviously we haven't completed yet, and if we do, then it will go way lower, because that thing would move us here, right? Which is pretty much these lows, and I can see us going here. That's why I really wrote, and this chart is kind of similar to Australian dollar, where it's still trying to find lower support. So I'm not really sure if I'm gonna touch it at this point. I didn't short it during this week, even though, I mean, I was looking at this, this formation here, this, bear flag, whatever, and I was like, man, this is just gonna break, and it sure did. But it's never easy to enter something like this, because there's just, you're trading in range, so it's kind of hard to do. Let's see, and we have GN going up, still trying to find that SRS entry. Let's throw in some trend lines. I always do that. So we got this. Ideally, we would pull back to that trend line and then enter it. So it would be something like this, right? Trying to find confluence. By the way, I need to add bank levels to these charts, like this. Did it add? There we go. Yeah, here's the bank levels. Nice. All right. What is it? GM up. Right, so we broke out of this trend line. We're looking for a pullback. So probably a good entry would be this support, and then going for that 195 bank level there. All right, so GN, and then the last one is AN, so we can keep this video under 30 minutes. All right, nice little slider here. We had SRS here. I did not take it for a reason. And let's let's see. Let's throw in some trend lines in here. So we're sitting right on that trend line, and we're looking for Australian dollar to go up. And so I would definitely be interested in buying it as soon as we break this trend line. So you can kind of see how it's packed itself in here, and as soon as we start doing that, then we can definitely start moving higher. This would be a good move. Yeah, I like this trade. Makes sense. So you have an impulse, correction, long correction, and then another impulse higher, and then if we have any resistance here on the left for some targets. Let me correct this. All right. So, yeah, we're already coming, yeah, we're backing off of this resistance here, 113. If we go higher, we can probably find ourselves at 114. So that would give us, 350 pips right there. I like that. So that's it for today. Let's see how this week plays out. I'm going to look at some charts now in detail and place my orders for the week. And I will talk to you next week and in the room. Thank you guys.